First, I just want to say thank you to all the people who watched and commented on the previous video. I did not expect it to get that big, so I plan to do a follow-up in the future, just to address any further questions you might have, maybe a Q&A stream, if you guys want, of course. Just let me know down below in the comments. But with that being said, without further ado, let's get it. Let's get it. That sounds better. No, for that one. With the exception of the Fantastic Four, Marvel Rivals releases one hero a month to keep the player base attention and to officially inflate player count numbers. It seems to me that releasing one hero a month doesn't come from a strategic standpoint, but more of a lack of confidence in their own game. Even though they're using one of the biggest IPs in the world, if you look at most hero shooters, like Overwatch, Rivals' biggest competitor, undeniably so, in my opinion. They've released heroes 4 to 5 months, with the previous being 8. Valorant every 6 months to a year. Rivals, on the other hand, doesn't seem to have that same problem that these two are facing. Or should I say, they're simply facing a different version of that. Let me explain. You have no main source to enjoy inspiration from, and to have a lot more time spent coming up with new characters, what they would do, and how to organically implement them into the lore of their respective games. Rivals, on the other hand, has huge hero pools of characters and lore to pick and choose from that their player base is aware of, which puts more expectations on the game's hero roster compared to the other two. This is the core issue. It creates this preconceived anticipation if they are gonna arrive. The most common examples being like Doom, Thanos, previously Cyclops, Ghost Rider, or players who don't want to play until a certain character appears, all waiting in anticipation, which builds more and more, which builds more build-up. To meet these expectations, on the surface, once a month looks good, but it hurts the game's longevity. It creates casuals who just want to stop by and try the palm me. Palm me is Aussie slang, instead of actually creating regulars who like the place and want to keep coming. Double-edged sword helps boost the player base artificially, not organically like the other two do. In Deadlock, it creates a player base that's only there for the characters and then wanting to stay for the gameplay, which leans more into the casual play base without having enough content slash game modes to keep them around. Because most of them are temporarily game modes, not even that big, like 18 versus 18. Like Overwatch, you have a lot more variety, custom matches. You have J3 to do like tournaments or like custom funny videos where you do like one Genji versus entire lobby of bronzes, which you can do in Rivals. There's no like stat changes. Anyway, moving on. Not to mention that releasing these heroes a month can have that character's gameplay and balancing, like how to balance gameplay while also trying to fulfill the hero fantasy only Marvel Rivals can deliver. Now, NetEase has stated in interviews that their hero release schedule is roughly 1 year in advance, which sounds good on paper, but with their hero release schedule only be once a month, I don't know how in a year in advance is enough time to balance gameplay with hero fantasy. Now, I know a single thing about character creation, much less game creation, right? But even I can see that it just doesn't match up, like development time and cost. Creating one character can take months to plan. The actual creation itself takes more months, and then testing that character, and then balancing that character. Being the key word here. 1 year in advance is just not enough time to create a hero a month while trying to keep the gameplay true to the character and unique without reusing other characters' core gameplay loop, which ruins the potential identity that hero could have had to implement. It also hurts the game balancing and power creep. Again, I'm not by any means good at the game, much less pro level, so I'll play a clip from a podcast I watched which featured pros like Trust Me, who is recognized, or if you don't know, is recognized as the best tank player in the game. And they can explain the balancing issues much better than I can. I'll link the podcast below. If you want to watch the video podcast yourself, you should, definitely. It was really interesting to watch these players come together, the pros and these top 500 players come together and discuss this. So, again, check it out now.
Constant ways, but I really would prefer the game to be constantly updating, because that is also better for casual players as well. Like if we slowed the patch cycle down to every 2 months or something, and then I pull up the patch notes like we do every month, like it's Christmas morning, and I read through the changes, I see no nerfs to Jean Grey, no nerfs to Gambit, I see Blade's 1 damage on his sword, and I know I have to wait 2 months before something else. It's just gonna make the game horrible, and like no one will play.
But maybe they would be better patches too.
No, I will say something. The problem is the root issue. The root issue is that they don't know how to make a better patch because they don't have enough experience with the game. Like even the developers, right? You just said it yourself, right? You want these changes, but the question is always, what would that lead you in? Because that would open up a meta that would maybe feel more toxic to play in than you originally anticipated and thought of, right? Because who wants to play into Iron Fist or like Mr. Fantastic the entire time? I'm telling you, there's not a lot of people who want that gameplay loop, and that's the reality of thing. So the developers have such a hard time figuring it out, and this is unfortunately a thing with Marvel Rivals, which is a problem in pro play as well, as we come back to it.
One thing I'll say, trust me, because I think that how do I put this? I think that if the devs really cared about balancing it in a way that matters, they would just ask y'all. Like my argument is that it's not that they don't know, it's that they don't care to balance around pro plays. Like that's and I literally just think that if they actually wanted to balance it around pro play, they would literally just consult y'all. They would just consult the teams. Like there's tons of esports that have done that in the past. Because like I think at this point everyone can agree that Gambit has been very overtuned, especially his ult has been extremely powerful for way too long. They have to know that that's how every single player in high elo and in pro play feels, right? They have to know that. It's not that it's not like they can't figure it out. They know, they just don't care. That's my problem. Is there's
legit like no.
Please check it out. I'll link it down below if you can watch it. If you decide to change it to 3 to 4 months, it's already too late, right? You have one side of the player base and only plays when they drop a new character. You have one side of the player base has gotten used to getting new characters once a month that will lose interest without something new or substantial to keep them from leaving. You couldn't say zombie mode, like I said earlier, these modes are like limited time events, and that mode has honestly its own issues, but I'm not here to discuss that game mode. We're here to discuss this. The once a month hero release, which was meant to keep player numbers artificially, will only lead to further issues down the road. Now, before I finish yapping, I just want to add that I don't think these issues are going to be immediate issues now, but will/could become an issue further down the road. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if you agree or disagree, or if you want to ask me more questions. I'll answer as many as I can. I also stream on Twitch every day, 7 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. On weekdays, I stream at 2 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on all socials, link down below, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Discord server, I'll link down below if you want to ask me more questions on that, or if you just want to get up to date when I'm streaming. Until we meet again. Okay, so as I was making this video, I saw Bogur did a video with Tony Statovci. I'll link them both down below, both the YouTube and the Twitch, discussing the same issue I discussed in this video. So this is post-edit Venom Rex, adding in their take on it, which I found, well, related to my topic. Check it out.
How long do you think they're gonna do the like character every season? Like
bro, when they stop doing that, I think that's when they're like, we're basically done. I feel like I feel like if I have to criticize the game, I feel like that's an attempt to keep the game always with high numbers by always releasing characters. And it might mean that they don't have too much faith in their game besides that, because you kind of need to let your game chill a bit. Like, you can't always be going full gas. You can't, like the game, I feel like at this point, more or less is kind of falling apart in a lot of things, like a lot of mechanics. There's too much shit going on. Like, Black Cat is a ridiculous character, you know? And they're always trying to outdo themselves every single time. And like, when does it stop? Because now that they release Black Cat, they can't release a different character that's weaker than Black Cat, or like less. Because now it's a little bit less different character that's like, when does it stop? Because now that they release Black Cat, they can't release a different character that's weaker than Black Cat, or like less. Because now it's a little bit less exciting.
Makes, like, the characters that originally came out kind of like obsolete a little bit. Because it's like, in reality, why would you play BP if you could play Black Cat?
That's what I'm saying, right? So what I think they need to do is like work in the game a bit more, and you know, genuinely just rework some of the characters.
You think we already need reworks?
Well, okay, let's take for example. Oh, you guys are dead. Let's take for example, Black Widow. That character has 2 buttons. Then we're gonna go Black Cat. That character has 20 buttons. The power creep is insane. Like, Black Widow has a sprint button and a kick button, and then a shoot button. The 3 buttons, that's all. Right? It's actually insane. So if they want to keep up, then we need some reworks here. Oh, bigger. Love to see it. It's very different, like, if you are a little bit less casual, a little more casual and less competitive. If you play the game like 4 hours like you, bro, I think that's perfect. Like, you just like go in. If you play a game like me, oh, you're balding. You're losing your mind. You're like, holy fucking shit, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm watching Black Cats fly around, Gambit being annoying. I'm watching a dinosaur take over my lobbies. I grab the Spider-Man and he's dead.
And now we end the story of the Dragon Balls, with the hope that the Earth will never again see the kind of darkness that brought it close to extinction so many times. But if that day comes, there is one who will step out of the shadows and fight in the name of all that is good and true.
Till we meet again, guys!